Hi guys, Ronnie here and welcome to the workshop. A quick technical video today. Uh, Lately I've dealt with some disc brake rub issues on one of my bikes and some customer bikes as well. And I thought that if you've ever owned a cyclocross bike, a mountain bike or any bike with disc brakes, then these couple of tips will surely help you out, because these are the ones that I use to deal with brake rub on disc brakes, which is very annoying, and it could be repaired in a couple of minutes. So the first thing, the most obvious one, and the one that works for 99% of the time, and you've probably already heard of it, but I will say it nevertheless, is, well, for this you basically need to loosen both bolts on your adapter, squeeze your brake very hard, then you tighten the bolts themselves while squeezing the brake, and that should solve the issue for a large percentage of the time. But there are some other problems that could occur, and these are not solved by this method. So what else can you do? Well, in my experience, most brakes come from the factory overfilled with fluid. What that means is that there's so much fluid that the pads come extremely close, pushed out by the pistons, because there's a lot of fluid in the caliper, and that way even the tiniest bit of misalignment causes brake rub, and that's a very easy problem to solve. You just do this by slightly unscrewing your bleed hole or a bleed port here, and again you just squeeze the brake a little bit. Be of course careful that you don't get oil on your pads, so it's a good idea to put a rag or a paper towel on there, wipe it off, then you redo the bolt, and this way you lose some of the oil from the system, and that makes the pads align at a great distance from the rotor, and that makes adjusting it so it doesn't rub quite a bit easier. You might need to readjust your preferred lever throw there, but that's not really a big issue at all with most brakes. And then if these steps don't help, then you may also try lubing the pistons themselves. Sometimes they just get stuck. Of course, this doesn't really apply to newer bikes, but if you're riding your bike for a while, you may need to take your pads out and carefully start pressing your brake so that your pistons basically emerge from the caliper, and that way you can give them a clean and a bit of universal lube on there that makes them slide in and out easily. But be careful so you don't push the lever so much that the pistons actually pop up from their place, and that basically opens the system and you have to redo it, rebleed it all over again. So if done it carefully, then this is quite an easy job to do. You're lubing your pistons, make sure they move freely. And even if this doesn't help, then it will probably be a problem with the rotor. It may be bent, or the caliper may be misaligned in some way. On this bike here, I have a problem that the lower bolt is, well, the thread in it is bonded into the fork a bit askew, so that means it's a bit lower, or I mean it sits a bit taller than it should. And if I tighten the upper bolt, there's no contact with the rotor, but as soon as I begin tightening the lower bolt, it braces itself against the adapter and basically skews the whole system. you can actually see on the rotor that the pads don't really contact the outer perimeter. As you can see there, the inside of the rotor is in contact with the pads when you're braking, but the outside is still plain metal from being machined. So this is the thing that caused the issue, and you can test for this by using just one rotor bolt, well, I mean caliper bolt, as I've said, and if one of them is misaligned, then you'll need to make a bit of an adjustment to the adapter. I have done it here on this upper portion. I have used a small file to file away a bit of material from here, and that way the bolt doesn't contact the adapter when you're tightening it, and this way the caliper isn't pushed away from alignment. So this way the braking is pretty much perfect without any brake rubs. Now, these are my methods that I use. I hope you have found this useful and it helps you solve some of your brake issues. If you'd like to see more technical tips on how to take your bike to the next level, then don't forget to tune into my channel. Subscribe. It's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.